Call me the pioneer. I bring the light to the deepest secrets of different bills. Hey, don't condemn me, you need it, I got it listed here. You wanna make it, I'll show you just how to make it here. I got all the rarest bills, and I ain't done yet. Went from the finish to making bills like a prospect. Flow space and slashes to catching us with a lot of threat. You keep the medals cause the real one's coming up next. Only scratch the surface, still they try to drain my...
Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is your man, Uncle Demi, and today I have another special banger for you, right? Now listen, before we get into this video, you know what you need to do, man. Go ahead and drop that like. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. And also, I have membership opportunities. Please don't forget to check it out in the description or head over to my channel, click the join button, and see the 3 different tiers that I have to offer, right? Now, let's get into this video. Today, we're talking about Pascal Siakam, right? And I'm going to be honest with you, man. This dude probably has one of the most unique journeys to the NBA and becoming an NBA All-Star, right? So, let's just talk real quickly. So, he went to New Mexico State, okay? Then when he came to New Mexico State, he won the WAC Freshman Player of the Year. Then he also won the WAC Player of the Year the next following year. Dope, right? Then he goes to the NBA. He goes to the NBA in 2016. After the year, he got Conference Player of the Year. He gets drafted 27th overall in the 2016 NBA Draft, right? In that 2016, and again, the 2016 NBA Draft was actually a pretty decent draft. That's the draft that birthed Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, Jaylen Brown, Domantas Sabonis. Now, again, Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, and Sabonis, and of course, Siakam, they were all-stars. So that's already 4 all-stars that were drafted in that draft. It also gave you Buddy Hield, Jamal Murray, Chris Dunn. I'm trying to think who else was in that one. Karis LeVert. There was someone else I was thinking about. And Dejounte Murray, right? Which, of course, he tore his Achilles last year, but he's a really, really good prospect for the Spurs. I think he's going to do really well. So, yeah. So, those are some of them. There's a couple other smaller tier guys that made it. But, again, he was picked 27th overall in that 2016 draft, right? So, that's not, like, literally, people that fall outside the lottery, it's a flippable coin of whether or not you make it, right? But this is when it gets crazy. So, then he goes to the NBDL, which is G League, and everybody knows pretty much about the G League. Once you go down there, it's like purgatory. You rarely make it out. You're just pretty much going to be there for a year or two. Then you're going to end up being shipped off overseas. When I say shipped off, meaning like you're going yourself overseas, because obviously the NBDL doesn't give you that much money compared to playing overseas, right? But what this guy decided to do, instead of complaining about it, he just went out there and put in extremely crazy work, right? So that following year in 2017, he goes on and wins the league championship in the NBDL, right? And he becomes the finals MVP, right? So he becomes the finals MVP, and then he turns around that next following season and he comes into the NBA. And man, oh man, oh man, what does he decide to do? He decides to become one of the best power forwards in the league. Obviously, he won the NBA championship last year. He's an all-star this year. And of course, last year, he became the NBA most improved player. So he was a role player in 18, became a starter in 19. So that transition from a role player to a starter from 18 and 19, he became the most improved player. So if you think about it, and you just put this all together, right? He's a champion in the NBA and in the NBDL. He's the most improved player. He is the NBDL MVP. He's an all-star. He is a AP All-American. He's a WAC Player of the Year and WAC Freshman of the Year. I don't think anybody's ever accomplished that. NBDL championship, NBA championship. I mean, it gets kind of crazy, but regardless, it just tells you the type of hard work and drive he is. He is literally a blue-collar, bring my pal to the basketball game type player. There's nothing soft about him. He's relentless. He's a hard worker. And he's definitely one of my favorite players to watch because he's a prime example of somebody that literally works their way to becoming and builds their way up to becoming a great basketball player. Same thing for Fred VanVleet. And literally most of the players on the Raptors. What makes the Raptors really good is because they're such a scrappy team. When people thought that when Kawhi Leonard was going to leave the Raptors, that they were going to fall, but no, they didn't fall. They're still right there in the package, fighting for the East to come out of the East to play probably my Lakers, right? Don't hate. And it's just pretty impressive to see how Pascal Siakam has been leading the way. So we're going to talk about a very special player today. If you don't know what he is, you need to look in on him more. He has a really cool backstory also from his childhood, but I'm not going to get into that. But let's go and get into some of his attributes, right? So as you see here, man, he has some really crazy attributes. His standing dunk and driving dunk are good. His close shot, his mid-range and three-point shots are good. His post hook, his post fade, and his post moves are good. When I say good, I mean, obviously that's just like, I'm saying like above average, right? And then of course his ball handling is average and his speed with the ball is average. Remember, he's 6'9", 230. So just to be able to have that 70 potential ball control is crazy. And then defensively, his interior defense is 86, his perimeter defense is a 79. Like, this shows the versatility that he has, interior and perimeter. And then of course his offense, I mean his defensive rebound is pretty good. So again, he is a really, I guess you can call like more like a Swiss Army knife type player. He does it all. I mean, he does anything and everything. He literally plays all 5 positions. I've seen him be a point forward, bring the ball up the court. I see him plays back to the basket. I see him face up. He loves facing up, going straight to the rack. He's definitely one of those slasher type, but he can spot up and shoot it, as you can tell right here. And then if you go over to his badges, you can see that he has putback balls, which if you've seen any of his game and how he plays, he is so scrappy around the basket. I mean, like, he's one of those guys that, you know, when you're, best example I can get is like, you know, when you play pickup ball, right? And everybody's kind of chilling, laughing, having a good time. Is that one dude that's really going too hard? Like, that's Siakam, right? It's literally like, I can see other NBA players like, bro, like, you're tripping, bro. Like, you're going a little too crazy right now. But that's how he plays. He plays at 100. And then so if you look at his shooting, he has pick and popper, catch and shoot. Like I said, he has some really decent badges all around. Postman technician is on gold. Defensive badges on silver. So what makes him difficult to make is because it does say two-way three level score. But we're gonna try the best of our ability to get two-way 3-level score. And let's head over to my my player builder. You know, my favorite spot to go to, and we'll be right back. All right, so let's hop right into it. So obviously, you know, he's a power forward. He's right-handed. He's number 43 for the Raptors. What I decided to go to here is go with shooting and defense. When you have two-way, you definitely have to have defense in it. But for his shooting to be so high, I definitely wanted to go with obviously this 2. What it did do was sacrifice the 80 driving dunk. But again, you wasn't going to be able to get contact dunks anyway. But to have the 3-level score the way I wanted it, you have to go here, okay? So that's what I'm going with. I also went with the one with the most speed. I definitely, when you look at him, Pascal Siakam, his real numbers on his roster, he had 76 speed, he had 78 acceleration, he had 70 strength, and he had a 79 vert, right? So one thing that really just took a hit would have been his vert. But again, I wanted to speed more than the vert, because if I would have gone here, right here, his speed would have just took too much of a hit. This right here is going to give us something that I feel will give us a major advantage: his quickness and his speed, and that's something that he really has in the NBA. So I wanted to make sure that I could have that and be able to show that when he plays. Okay. For this right here, what we're going to do is we're going to max out all his finishing. Right. We're going to max out all his finishing because his post hook was actually an 80. I'm sorry. His post hook's a 79. So I had to max out that. His standing dunk was crazy. It was a 90. His driving dunk was an 80. So we got, and his layup was an 88. So you can see that it was really hard to get that. So I was like, you know what? Got to max it all out. And then, of course, what we're going to do is we're going to max out his mid-range and his three-point shot. And then we're going to put his post fade at a 75. On his roster, if you look back, his post fade was a 74. So right at 75 is dope. So I did not have room for free throw, even though he did have an 81 free throw. But let's be honest, we're park players. We don't need that. His pass accuracy was a 40, so I left that blank. He had a pass accuracy of 40. I left it blank. He had his ball handling again was a 60-something, so I maxed that out best I could. His post moves was a 69, so I maxed that out. So you have these, right? Then what I did was I maxed out interior defense, his perimeter, his lateral quickness. I went 70 on his defensive rebound. Believe it or not, his offensive rebound was just a 42. So he had a 72 defensive rebound. And then his block was a 65. So then I just used the rest to go 63 right here. I think I missed something. 75, 70. I think I got something I need to draw. Oh, his driving layup. All right, there we go. So there you go. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so this is what we have. So be honest, I really tried to get his attributes as close as I possibly could from the official roster to now. And it's not really bad to look at it. 12, 12, 1, and 7. That's pretty dope. Especially when you're thinking about somebody that could play inside and outside. But what's really crazy is that you look at something like this and you see 1, but then when you get 10 additional badges for hitting legend, it's gonna be pretty dope to have these already. So then it's gonna be pretty good once you be able to get those badges to work with. So sometimes if you're somebody that knows you're hitting legend, or if you're thinking about making once you hit legend and you being able to get those additional badges, sometimes it's okay to have 1 and you have badges and you're losing attributes, because you know you're gonna get badges anyway in that category. Same thing here. So the reason why I didn't worry about maxing everything out is I'm like, yo, you hit legend with this, you get 10 more, your defenses, you're gonna be able to get your rebounds and get those badges that you need anyway, right? So that's why I went with that, okay? So then what you wanna do here, I went with, I feel like for him, he's defined. So I went defined, he's 6'9", right? And then I went at 247 for him because I wanted to get right at 80 interior defense. His true weight is 230. I did average, put 17 pounds on him. But I just wanted to get an 80 interior defense, but you could go 230. You get the same exact name, so it doesn't matter. But it's up to you. So you could go 230 if you wanted to, like that here, like his real weight, or you can go 247 to get that 80 interior defense, okay? You just lose 1 in lateral quickness, okay? And then for your wingspan, I kept it at 85.9. I kept it the same because I didn't want to lose anything on my block. It was already as low as it was, and I just wanted to help defensively. Just have a decent wingspan because you could potentially be playing down low. So I kept that. All right. Now, here I think that, Siakam, you can either go with spot-up shooter, rim protector, or slasher. Me personally, I think that slasher is what I want to go with because slasher gives you a +10 in a lot of different areas. It gives you the most +10s in any other badge. And the big one for me is to give you a +10 on your ball handling. So I think we're getting that slasher with that ball handling. It's just going to make you a crazy power forward build when you're in the face-up game. So I want to go with that. My second option would definitely have been the spot-up shooter, and then it would have been rim protector. But then again, it's also about your play style, but I'm going with slasher, right? And then here you have it. You have Pascal Siakam, similar to, and you have a 3-level score. I was not able to get the 2-way because obviously there's just too many different badges that you have to do attributes that you have to put on a player that you just can't get it. And it just was not something that was doable. But at the same time, this is the best Pascal Siakam build out there. You're not going to find anything better than this, to be 100% honest with you. And it's not even being cocky. It's just that if you want to match it pound for pound for attributes of what his official roster has in this, there's not a better pie chart, and there's not going to be a better resemblance in players. So this is about the best you can do, and I'm really excited, and I'm really happy with this one, right? So let's go ahead and test this build out real quick. Let's go ahead and get him to 99. Let's go. Here we go. You see him 99, and then you really got to have fun with these badges. You definitely want to go with contact finisher. That's something that's going to be really big. Consistent finisher is another one. I also said pick and roller would be a good one to have because, if you're setting those screens at the top, rolling to the basket, that's what he does. I also found a huge love for silver putback boss now, and I love that thing. And then my last one would go with fancy footwork. I just feel like all in all, this is going to be a good little setup for a build like this, especially with the pick and roller and putback balls, because you will be able to get those rebounds. He did have cross key score on silver, but not a lot of people use that type of play style, so it's not used to having it. The most important ones would be contact finisher and fancy footwork. Consistent finisher is a must-have on silver. It's dope, right? And then I just wanted to add these 2 tidbits. But if you don't have that desire to have putback balls, then by all means, I'd say the next tier would be to go ahead and get Acrobat. If you want to be some type of player that wants back down, then I say do back down Punisher, because you do have the fadeaways, the post hook, and all that type stuff. But what it really will require, if you want to do that, it will require something like this, like completely changing the game. Like, let's say, for instance, if you were doing like the 2s or something like that, and you were running like the point guard spot, then maybe you can go here and then go deep hooks, because you do have that hook shot. And then you want to take your fancy footwork off and maybe go pro touch or something like that. Like, it just really depends. You really have to change your play style around, but the versatility does allow you to do that. And that's what's really dope about this. You can literally convert him to like a back to the basket type person, right? Here are these badges here. I say just go gold, even though you can get Hall of Fame, but right now you don't have enough, right? So, you know, as always, I feel like these three are the most important. And then the last one, you can go ahead and go Green Machine. Or if you're going to be playing off ball, go with Catch and Shoot. And this is the best way to go with it. If you're someone I'm good with gold, but if you're someone that says, man, I got to have my Hall of Fame, then I say go like this. But again, it's your build, you know, do it any way you like it, all right? And then here, right now, what I would say go with is just go with bailout on bronze, because you will be getting an opportunity to shoot it and to throw out. Bonds. I can't talk right now, man. I don't know what's going on. Bronze bailout is so OP, right? It is probably one of the best bang for your buck badges on bronze you can get. And I tell people all the time, you don't have to get caught up with all these gold and purple Hall of Fame badges. There's some dope bronze and silver badges you can get, and that's all you need. And I might need to do a video on that. If you want me to do a video on that, man, make sure you spam that in the chat, man. If you want to see that, then put that in the chat and I can definitely do it for you. All right. Here, what I want to go with, you want to go with, you're going to go with some silver Intimidator, silver clamps, or maybe you can go gold clamps if you want to, right? I think like these two will be great. And then your last two, I say go with, rebound chaser on bronze, or you can go, actually what I was going to do here, let's do this. Let's just do this. Chase down, rim protector, and interceptor. So that's probably more better than what I would do, how I would put it. He's so versatile. You have good interior and perimeter defense, so it's just really hard. We only have 7 badges, so you really gonna have to be creative with this. I'm trying to be creative right now, but it's just almost like when you got to figure out your teammate that you're running with, what type of style you're gonna be running with. Are you gonna be switching on screens? Or are you just gonna play sides on the screens? That really dictate what you're doing. Also, if you're playing 2s, if you're playing 3s, or if you're playing rec, that's another thing to consider. So there's a lot of variables here. This is something right now, but I probably would change it up depending on where I'm playing also. So, but again, I'm really excited about this build. I think it's a really good build, man. To be honest with you, solid. And if you enjoyed this video, you know what you need to do. Drop a like, sub to the channel, and of course, it's your man, Uncle Demi. I'll be back really, really soon, another banger. You know, when I say I'll be back soon, another banger, you know exactly what day I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about tomorrow. I'm out.
Yeah, rare form, yeah.